Hey guys, this is Scott from Throughout to Grow podcast, and welcome to our countdown to Avengers Infinity War, our new weekly video series where we're gonna break down each of the MCU movies that lead up to the big event, Avengers Infinity War. 17 movies leading up to this culminating event of the Infinity War, and so we're gonna do a weekly video where we break down each of the individual MCU movies leading up to Infinity War, all right? So it's just going to be a quick little review, breakdown, and a few trivia points for you, all right, guys? So let's jump in to the first MCU movie, Iron Man, which came out in May 2008. And this was, like I said before, it was the first MCU movie. This planted the seed that would bloom into 17 movies, about to be 18 once we get to Avengers Infinity War. Alright, so Iron Man follows Tony Stark. It's Tony Stark and Iron Man's origin story. You gotta start with an origin story. And so Tony Stark's a little bit of a dick, but he's a billionaire, he's an arms dealer, but he's our main character. And we start off the film with him doing an arms demonstration, in the Middle East. But he ends up being attacked and taken captive by some kind of insurgents or terrorists. While this attack happens, he ends up being hit with some shrapnel and gets the shrapnel in his chest. In order to keep that shrapnel from getting to his heart and killing him, they have to put a magnet into his chest. That electromagnet is what's keeping him from dying, but it also requires power. So he builds a mini arc reactor to power the magnet permanently, or semi-permanently, till he can build another one in the movie. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So he builds a mini arc reactor, which will later power an Iron Man suit. After the arc reactor, the terrorists had kidnapped him because they wanted him to build weapons. And they think he's building their weapons, but instead he actually builds a makeshift Iron Man suit, which is like a suit of armor. So if you don't know what an Iron Man suit is, I don't know how to explain it to you. You're just way past. It's been 10 years. You had to figure it out. Anyway, so he makes a makeshift Iron Man suit to escape capture. All right. So after escaping, Tony decides to build and become Iron Man, like the actual Iron Man suit, the red one, the cool stuff. Okay. So he builds one. When he's back home, he built himself a new one, and he wants to get out of the weapons selling business. But his mentor / business partner, Obadiah Stane, I'm not sure if I said that right. Anyways, Jeff Bridges. Maybe I should just call him Jeff Bridges. That's who he's played by in the movie. Anyways, I say anyways too much. So Obadiah Stane, though, doesn't want to stop selling weapons because that's how he makes his billions. But he also wants Tony's new suit and the arc reactor technology, and he also wants Tony out of the picture because those terrorists we heard about before, yep, Obadiah Stane, he's the one who paid for them. He wanted Tony, but Tony didn't quite work out. Anyway, we progress through the movie a little bit. Stuff happens here and there, but near the end, the main things you need to know is that near the end, Obadiah Stane ends up stealing the arc reactor, that's this thing, out of Iron Man's chest. And Iron Man thinks he's going to die. But the reason he steals this is because he needs that power source to power his Iron Man suit that he's developed, the Ironmonger. It's an okay name, I kind of like it. Anyway, so we end up getting a big boss battle with these two, fighting Iron Man suit versus Iron Man suit. And of course, the hero of the story wins. Spoiler, and it's 10 years, people, 10 years. I'm spoiling all these. I'm sorry if I didn't mention it before. I'm spoiling them all. Anyways, Iron Man wins, and he's going to a press conference, and he's supposed to give some lame story, but instead he tells the whole world he's Iron Man. And that's pretty much Iron Man 1, except you can't forget one little thing, which is now a trademark of MCU movies, which is the post-credit scene of Iron Man, which introduced Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, recruiting Tony / Iron Man to the Avengers Initiative. And that blew all our minds. It just did so much. Sorry if that I'm sorry if that really set you guys off. But anyways, it was such a big moment because it was the first time that universe building was actually done properly. Like all those other post-credit scenes that happened in the past were always kind of like, oh, maybe we'll do a sequel, but they rarely ever paid off. Whereas this one paid off with 17 movies, coming up with 18, another 10 years of movie that's gonna happen down the road. But as you guys can tell, I loved Iron Man, and when I first saw that scene, just great. But that's a quick breakdown of Iron Man, the first MCU movie for you guys. Now I just got a quick 3 random trivia facts for you guys before we go today. The first of which, this is the first, not just the first MCU film, but this is also the first Marvel Studios self-financed film, which means Marvel Studios before that always got other movie production companies to make their Marvel movies, because Marvel started off comic books and have all these characters, but they weren't a movie making. Oh, I'm sorry, they weren't a movie making studio until Iron Man, and now all these MCU movies and the TV shows on Netflix and everywhere else. All right, so that was our first trivia fact. The second trivia fact, a little shorter fact for you, is Jarvis, who's the AI in the thing, played by Paul Bettany. That actually stands for just a rather very intelligent system, which I thought was quite funny. So that's your second trivia fact. And the third and last trivia fact I have for you guys from Iron Man from 2008 was this was the first film in 2008 to pass 300 million in the US box office in May. So it was the first summer blockbuster to pass that 300 million and went on to gross over, sorry, I'm just looking at my stats here, 585 million worldwide, which was was pretty crazy for a superhero film back then. But nowadays it's kind of middle of the road. I mean, but anyways, those are your 3 trivia facts and your breakdown for the first MCU movie, our first part of our countdown to Avengers Infinity War. But thank you guys for joining us this week. Be sure to join us next week when we dive into the Hulk, the second of the MCU movies. And be sure to let me know in the comments below if you guys, what you guys thought of the first Iron Man film and how excited you guys are for the Avengers Infinity War movie to finally come out. Thanks for watching today, guys. Have a good one.